Good morning, everybody, and welcome to K-5072, which is Jenksville State Forest. Now, today has been kind of a disaster. I'll explain in a second. I am set up way out in the woods. I don't know, 3-4 miles in the woods at this old farmhouse foundation in the middle of the state forest. This is kind of a cool spot. I'm set up next to the trail here, and you can see my coax maybe running along the ground here. You'll see my coax spool in the tree right there, and then my antenna wire runs up into that maple tree and then way down there in an inverted V. Now, today is not exactly going according to plan. I wanted to get on the air early, so I got up at 5:30. I wanted to be on the air by 7, and I was, with one major issue. So I got all set up. I was set up by about 6:50, 6:55-ish, and so there's spotty cell service here. Sometimes you have service, sometimes you don't. And so I set up and checked the POTA spot page. I had 1 bar of service. It took a minute to load, but KQ4CW was on. So I'm like, well, I'll hunt him before I start activating. So I dialed his frequency, and he was still calling CQ. So I just called him back on my call sign. I didn't say park to park or anything because nobody else was calling him, and the POTA app will figure out the park to park when you log it. So anyway, I called him, and then I was like, well, I've got cell service still. I might as well call CQ a couple times on this radio that I'm using today is a Venus Tech SW3B. It's a 3-band CW only transceiver. It does 20, 30, 40. And so I'm like, well, I'll call CQ on 20, 30, 40 real quick before 7 a.m. when I had my activation scheduled, just to see what propagation is like, because it's been kind of crappy lately. So anyway, I hopped on and I called CQ on 40, and it looked decent. And I just called CQ LICW in case anybody from the Long Island CW Club called back with a contact for the LICW challenge. So anyway, I called 40, and then I called on 20, and then I called on 30, and 30 was meh, but I was like, well, we'll see what happens. So I was just about ready to start activating when all of a sudden somebody called back to me on 30 meters. Like, that's interesting. Maybe it's one of the LICW club members. So I got his call there. I'll talk about those in a second. And I did sort of the formal QSO approach. I did the name, QTH, op, all that stuff. And he came back, thanks. I think it was Missouri or something. No, let me see. Was it Missouri? I don't remember. Yeah, and 7-3. I was like, well, that's interesting. So no sooner did that QSO end than somebody else called me. I said, well, that's weird. So I responded to them same way, same sort of formal QSO exchange, name, QTH, RST, all that stuff. And they said, thanks, 7-3. I'm like, that's weird. And then it occurred to me, I'll bet you, and I checked later, and this is what happened, the reverse beacon network, one of those nodes pinged me after 7 a.m., and it caused my activation to go live on the POTA website. And I wasn't ready for it yet. I wasn't recording. I wasn't ready to do anything. So anyway, I was like, well, I guess maybe I won't record this one today. I'll just run through it, get my 10 and call it a day, and we'll shoot another one some other day. So no sooner does the third station start calling back than it's just dead air. I got about half his call, and then it just was gone. So I got in the log, KQ4CW. All right, he was my park to park. And then I had WO0S and WKRRK. All right. And all of a sudden it was dead air. I'm like, what the heck? And I had nothing. And I heard a crash over here and didn't think anything of it. So I looked up, and it's very hard to see this wire. It's little tiny 26 gauge wire. It weighs nothing. It's very, very small. It's also not the strongest stuff in the world. Well, like I said, it's an inverted V up in this tree. And this great big branch right here, this guy had fallen out of this tree and broken my radiating element in half. I was like, oh man. I'm like, all right, well, we'll pull it down out of the tree. We'll strip the ends. I've got a Leatherman with me. Like, we'll strip the ends, twist it back together, finish the activation, and not worry about it. So I go to pull that radiator out of the tree with my throw line, and it gets hung up. And I yank and yank, and finally it breaks. And I'm like, oh man. So someplace up in this maple tree, I can't see it, but there's a piece of wire. So now I'm stuck because I'm using a resonant antenna. I don't have a tuner. And I'm like, well, I got a couple options. I can abort this, or I can hike whatever it is, the 3-4 miles back to my truck. I've got wire, I've got connectors, my Nano VNA's in the truck. So I packed all my stuff up, hiked all the way back out to my truck, built a new antenna, and hiked all the way back in and set back up. So that was at 7 a.m. It is currently 9:16 a.m. So yeah, that took me almost 2 hours to do. So at any rate, I'm pretty much set up and ready to go now. Now I'm hoping the bands are okay. The later it gets, the worse they've been getting lately. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, today I'm using the Venus SW3B. This is kind of a cool little radio. Coupled with a CW Morse single paddle. Got a little external speaker because this radio does not have a speaker. Normally I'd run headphones, but I want you guys to be able to hear. Pack I'm running today is a Hill People Gear Connor version 2. I was going to run my Junction, but I had so much stuff packed into this, it was going to be a pretty heavy load, and this thing carries load better. So at any rate, I'm at my spot now. I'm finally set up. So I'll get the camera all set up on the table. I was going to rig it up so it was nice and easy to see and everything. With the amount of time I have left today, I think I'm just going to put it on the table with me. Hopefully it doesn't rock around too much. Hopefully you can see everything. But let me get everything ready to roll here, and we'll call CQ and see what happens. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so we are back. I think we're ready to roll. The bugs are pretty bad today. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully this doesn't rock things around too much because I do just have you on the table today. I have a sliver of service. I've called QRL. Nobody's on frequency, doesn't sound like. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spot myself. Oh, I just lost service. Let's see if we can get it back. I mean, if I can't, the RBN should spot me. It did earlier. Let's see what happens here. Like I said, service here is really, really sketchy. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Right now I don't. Oh, somebody's alive right over here in the leaves. I just saw something move over here. We'll try it one more time here. We'll put it on airplane mode, turn it back off, see if we can get service. If we can't, well, there we go, we got it. So we're gonna go spot frequency. I'm at 7057. And I'm at K-5072. CW. Spot. Did it spot me? I don't know. Like I said, this service here is so bad that yes, it did. Okay, we're on. I'm gonna get my phone away from me here so I'm not getting interference. I'm not used to keying on a single paddle, so it's a little weird. Four BB. Okay. Virginia. It is 23. See if anybody else shows up. Huh, yeah, the band's been a little weird lately. Man, rough conditions. No cell service, so I can't really check and see if I'm getting spotted or not. There I am. Get her on the RBN. So nobody's coming back to me. Nine. New Jersey. There's somebody in there, but they're really low. Dun, 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 dun. VE something something. Three. JZT. 559. Should probably be Ontario. Yep. Or DEF something. Got him. .339. North Carolina. Man, it's got windy. 9:30. We got 7. Having a hard time keying on this. I'm not used to the single paddle. I might switch over to my regular dual iambic paddles. Ooh. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think I'm hitting these studs sticking on the sides. Yep. W something O. Where'd he go? WA4 RXO, I think. Yep. Oh, he came up. Five, 6, 9. North Carolina. Got 8, right? Yep. Need 2 more. Wow. Okay, hold on. Oh, I know why. Sorry if the side tone's super loud. You can only adjust it with the AF gain, and if I turn it down too low, I won't be able to hear some of those strong signals coming in, so. Hands are getting cold. It's windy out here. Heard a P. K4SP. Wow. Problem I'm having is it's on iambic B and I'm not letting go of the paddle fast enough. 559. Virginia. It's 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we need one more to make it valid. Man, my hands are freezing. It's not that cold out here, but it's windy, and my fingers are cold. See, am I still getting picked up on the RBN? I should be. Yep. Like I said, conditions have not been the greatest lately. So bugs on my face. Oh, there's lots of bugs out here today. Come on, we need one more. Oops. Where'd he go? No. KV2C. I think that was right. Maybe not. KU. Yep. Yep. Man, that would give me a hard time. And I don't know why. Whoa! I heard an axe. Hold on. That's Eric. Man. Sorry about that, Eric. It keeps sending an extra dit. Glad I got him in there. Thanks, Eric. Sorry about that. I messed your name up, but it wasn't really my fault. Like I said, this thing's iambic B, and every time if I'm too fast on this single paddle, when I let off, it sends an extra dit. So I've got to slow down on it a little bit. KR something P. KR8P. Michigan. Well, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, it's valid activation. It's not the greatest one of the books. Like I said, my keying is rough. This thing's iambic B only, and I've been playing with iambic B, trying to get better on dual paddles. But I figured today I'd try a single paddle. And what I found is if I'm too fast coming on and off this paddle, it'll send that extra dit. I may just switch back to the dual paddles and call it a day as far as that's concerned. In fact, maybe I'll do that right now before I call CQ again. Let me grab my other key. I always bring 2 with me just in case. So let's see if this is any better. This key is awesome, but it's so small, it's kind of hard to hold on to. It's that little bitty SP2 paddle. And it's very, very small, so it can be kind of hard to hold on to. We'll try it again. Whoa, what's going on here? This is backwards. All right, I'm not going to mess with that right now. Somehow it got turned backwards, so now it's left-handed. So that's not going to work. So forget that. We'll just go back to the single paddle and suffer through it. We're gonna have to figure that out. Somehow in these settings I can change from left-handed to right-handed, but I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna mess with it right now. So we'll call CQ 1 or 2 more times. We'll see if we get anybody else. If we don't, we'll wrap this one up. This one's been a pretty ugly activation, but this is pretty typical. So we'll call CQ 1 or 2 more times and see what happens. Man, that wind is cold. That may be it. Maybe I'll hop over to 20. Nah, I'm not gonna bother. It's getting cold. I think we'll just wrap it up here. I'll call CQ 1 more time. Whoa. EX. M4X. Make sure I got that right. Yep. North Carolina. That might be an A, I don't know for sure. So I got a W9. Eight IWS. Yep. Yep. Is that? Yep. E. at you. All right, I think we'll end it right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I gotta check. I think this is an A4EX, not N4EX. Sorry about that. Again, A's and N's always kill me. I've said that before. I'll check when I watch the video and see what I get there. I think that's probably A. So at any rate, we got 14 in the log. I think I'll call QRT. We'll pack things up. All right, so like I said, that was not the prettiest activation ever. Let me unplug this camera. That was not the prettiest activation ever, but it got the job done. Like I said, I'm sending extra dits with this thing. This is iambic A only, and I'm getting off this, on and off of this too fast, and it's actually sending an extra dit. Like, so Eric, I apologize for screwing your name up. That wasn't me being stupid on the key. That was, let me shut this thing off. That wasn't me being stupid on the key. That was just me having a timing issue with a single paddle on iambic B. So at any rate, like I said, I'll verify some of these. Like, I think that one was wrong. I'll get it when I listen to the video. He sent it a million times, so I should be fine. So I got 14 in the log, and like I said, today just did not go the way I intended it to go. But that's the way it goes sometimes. They're not all perfect, right? And don't think they have to be perfect. You know, people are afraid to get on the air. They're afraid they're not going to be good enough. Dude, just get on the air and go. You'll get better as you practice. The more you do this, the better you'll get. I've gotten substantially better in the past couple of months. You know, I started out pretty slow. I was calling between 18 and 20 words a minute today, and I was struggling with a few call signs, but all in all, it wasn't too bad. So this is a great spot. I think I'll probably hang out for a few minutes, make a cup of coffee and relax. Maybe walk around the old abandoned farmhouse here, and then make my way back down the trail. So anyway, I really appreciate you being with me this morning. Like I said, this one was ugly, but this is real life, right? They're not all pretty, they're not all perfect. And if you watch any videos where the activators show everything perfect, don't screw up any call signs, everything is, you know, exactly how it should be, they're editing. Like, there's no way, nobody's that perfect. Nothing, there's no way nothing ever goes wrong. You don't ever botch anything. This is how real life is. And like I said, it's not perfect, but it got the job done. Little radio did phenomenally well. This thing's got really good audio. If you're looking for a CW only radio, it's a really nice little rig. This little SW3B is really nice. It's only 5 watts, it's 3 bands, it's 20, 30, 40. But the audio is great, and it's only 188 bucks. So really nice little rig. So anyway, thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching my videos. I appreciate all the support. With that being said, I think we'll say 7-3 for this one, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.